think our kids are just they're gonna take that out. Actually, I don't know.
Hello, everybody. This is Kent Jacobs from Queen City Sportsplex in Cincinnati, where the Beaver Creek Beavers are going to be playing the Mason Comets tonight. It's senior night for the Comets, so they're going to have a ceremony that celebrates their seniors, and then we'll have the start of the game. Since we have some time, we were able to flag down assistant Beaver coach Brad Lloyd. Brad, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, Kent?
Pretty good. The Bengals won, so I'm okay.
Yeah, okay.
And the Dayton Flyer basketball team upset number 6
Big win last night for UD. That's
wow.
for sure.
Fantastic. So
watch the highlights today. It was good win for them.
They were down by 13 in the second half, so that's great. So getting up back to hockey. Last night, I was talking to Coach Gutterman out here in the lobby a little while ago, and I told him how we interviewed Chase Newroth after the game last night, and he said that I told him that despite the disparity in the time of possession and the shots and everything like that, I thought that you guys played pretty well. And he said, he said that the coaches after the game said that, I guess my hockey rankings said that Northern Kentucky was supposed to win by 9 goals.
Right. And anybody who watched the game last night, it could have been that. I mean,
right.
They pretty much controlled the puck, but we did a good job listening to Coach Gutterman's plan for the game. And it's honestly, this year, it's our plan for every game, because in watching us, it's not the same as other years where we've had some prolific goal scorers that could put a puck in the net against anybody. So if we're going to win games this year, pretty much every team we play, we're going to have to play really good team defense, and then hope that 1, 2, 3, or 4 guys can, different guys every game can pop one in. That's our strategy this year, until our young guys get more experienced. As you know, Kent, we've got a lot of young players, and I think that game last night really, hopefully they learned a lot, because what Coach Gutterman's been preaching to them after every game is believe in the system. It's the same system we've used every year that I've been here, and it really does emphasize conservation of energy and good, solid team defense. And when our kids learn to execute that better and better as the year goes on, we still got a lot of kids that are learning it, I think we'll have more success.
And a key to success for that style of play is goaltending. And I thought both Gabe and Talon last night were fantastic. Yeah,
we've been blessed every year that I've been here to have good goaltending. And this year it's hard to know which one of them is better. I think they're both have their own strengths and weaknesses, but they're both big goalies. And as long as you keep the shot to the outside and don't let them get into what we call the house, the main scoring area, I think both goalies are going to have a lot of success, and I think you saw that last night with both their play. That was a very good team, technically better than us, and we did a good job of keeping all the shots to the outside, even though we didn't have possession. And then when it got in there, we did a good job of clearing the rebounds. I think they were frustrated. They thought they were going to come down and beat us by 10 goals. And honestly, it probably would have been a 2-goal game. Towards the end, I convinced Coach to call a timeout and get essentially our power play out there to try to knock one in, just get lucky and get something going, and then really make them worry with a 1-goal lead with a minute left. Yeah. That'd have been fun for our crowd. Yeah. But it didn't work out that way. Of course, they scored kind of a dirty goal there at the end. Not dirty that they weren't playing dirty, but just kind of a puck bounce, and we just couldn't clear it. That was the one example where we didn't do a good job clearing the puck.
Right. That's the type of goal you call it dirty or greasy or junk.
Gritty goal. And that's what our team's got to learn how to do.
I was just about to ask you that, but since you were talking about keeping guys away from your net, I was going to ask you, how do you think you're doing as far as trying to get your guys to the net to try to score those type of junky, dirty goals?
Well, that's what we've been preaching to them in between periods, is that's the way this team's going to have to learn how to score. I know we had Alex last year, and very prolific goal scorer, could score from almost anywhere. This year, especially early on, we just got to get the puck on net and crash the net and hope that we get a rebound and just be ready for it.
And then you had,
to the extent that we've started incorporating some drills just to try to cement that into their head in practice. So hopefully we'll see some growth as the year goes on there.
And then the folks that have been with us for a few years remember Hitman Bush.
Hitman Bush knew how to put one home too, boy.
Sometimes I just felt like he would will to score. He was like, I'm going to score no matter what. And he would go down there and make it happen, but he had the skill and the size and everything, the physicality to make that happen.
Honestly, we have some kids on our team that are that big and strong, and we've actually been encouraging them to go back and watch some old films.
Oh, good.
To have them watch how we do our mid-zone defense, because I think some of our older teams executed it really well. We're still, we still got a ways to go with executing it. But yeah, Thomas was one of the ones. He knew how to drive to the net.
Yeah. Like I said,
he could not be stopped.
He willed it to happen sometimes.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. He's a great hockey player.
How do you and the other coaches feel so far about your special teams, the power play and the penalty kill so far?
Do you see the look on my face? We still got a lot of work to do, and I think anybody who's been watching us knows that we've got a lot of work to do on our power play. Maybe except for Chase and Hayden, everybody else on the power play is brand new to it. And we haven't, if I'm honest, we have not really found the right strategy yet to implement. Part of it's just getting experience doing it at this level. We've got a sophomore and a freshman out there doing it, and another freshman on defense, which people may not appreciate this about defense, but I think defense is probably the hardest position to play mentally in the game of hockey. You've really got to know angles and be able to judge speeds and things like that. And so we've got Zach Vanderboss out there on the point on our power play, at least most of the time. And he's doing a good job, but that's a lot to ask for a freshman, for two freshmen and a sophomore to learn. But we have seen some growth in them. We've been working on it in practice. We don't like to do a lot of position learning in practice. We'd rather use the ice time for skill development, but we've had to take some time to just walk through basic things that in many cases as coaches we think they should already know it by the time they get to us, but that's just the state of hockey in Ohio. A lot of them don't get that coaching when they're really young. A lot of great parent coaches out there, but in many cases they're teaching them different things. And they don't get enough ice time when they're really young, probably, to develop some of those things. So, I think as you watch, and Kent, I hope you see it. You've been watching a lot of Beaver Creek hockey over the years. You'll see our power play from the first couple games till now. It has improved. I see it, and me and Coach Gutt are pretty hard on them. But yeah, we definitely need to improve. We killed some good penalties last night.
Well, I noticed
we're doing a better job learning how to kill penalties. And
I think on one, I believe it was on a penalty kill. I might be mistaken, but I saw Zach Brighting lay out and block a shot right in front of the net last night.
We did a great job taking away lanes and blocking shots last night. I think that's part of the reason that team was frustrated. I got to get in here. I got to get in and talk to the team, Coach.
All right, thanks a lot,
It's good
Brad.
to see you.
Good luck to you guys
Hope
tonight.
everybody enjoys the game.
Yep. Thanks a lot, Brad. Okay, that's Coach Brad Lloyd, Assistant Coach Brad Lloyd of the Beavers. Let me turn this thing off. Okay. And what they're doing right now, it's a senior night for the Mason Comets. So they are introducing the senior players right now. And so there's a little bit of delay in getting this game going, but stand by, folks. I'm going to turn the microphone off and head to the other side of the table, so stay with us. I'll be right back with you. Okay, everybody, thanks for hanging in. And Dave, are you going to, you or Craig going to have your phone available for chats? Yeah, my power is down about half. I need the robot lady to get me home. Or I might wind up in Kentucky. All right, everybody. They're introducing the Mason Comets. You see them in their black uniforms with the green trim, Kelly green trim. And while we are waiting, well, what happened there? We're going to go over some scores. Because we're in a delay here as they introduce the Comet seniors. So, as Coach Lloyd and I were discussing, if you're a local to this area, the Cincinnati Bengals were a winner today over the Tennessee Titans by a score of 37-27. Bengals defense giving up I have a terrible time with this stuff. There we go. Bengals defense giving up a little bit too much once again, but at least they did win as they again scored over 30 points, 37-27. And looking over some other scores right now, games underway in the NFL. Indianapolis 13 and Denver 7. That's in the third quarter. Buffalo 28, Detroit 14. That's the big game of the two, teams that I think with the best records, I think, in each conference. Or Buffalo might be second to Kansas City, but they beat Kansas City. But right now, Buffalo leading Detroit 28-14. That's early in the third quarter. Another big game in the NFL today, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, cross-state rivalry of two teams that are in first place in their respective divisions. Philadelphia leads Pittsburgh 17-13 in the third quarter. Elsewhere, Arizona 16, New England 3 in the third quarter. Tampa Bay 20, the LA Chargers 17 in the third quarter. Later on, Green Bay at Seattle, that's tonight. Games that are final from today, the Kansas City Chiefs roll on. They beat the Cleveland Browns by a score of 21-7. We mentioned the Bengals over the Titans, 37-27. Washington nips New Orleans by a score of 20-19. Baltimore 35 and the New York Giants 14. That's the final. The Giants don't have a quarterback right now. The Dallas Cowboys defeat the Carolina Panthers 30-14. And the New York Jets over the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars right now without a quarterback as Trevor Lawrence hurt, I think, for the season. And the Jets win 32-25 over Jacksonville. And the Dallas Texans over the Miami Dolphins by a score of 20-12. That's the final. Thursday night, the LA Rams beat San Francisco 12-6. And tomorrow night, Monday night, there are 2 games on tap. Chicago at Minnesota, and then also Atlanta at Las Vegas. Teams are out getting warmed up, and as they do that, we'll review the National Hockey League scoreboard right now. First period, midway through, the New York Rangers and the St. Louis Blues are scoreless. Buffalo leads Toronto 2-1 midway through the second. Of local interest, the Columbus Blue Jackets are trailing the Carolina Hurricanes 2-0 midway through the second. First period midway through, Minnesota 1, Vegas, or just Vegas, the Golden Knights, nothing. And one final score, the Chicago Blackhawks. They upset the New York Islanders today by a score of 5-3. We'll take a look at all the scores once again after the second period when we have an ice cut. Right now the teams are getting ready for hockey this evening. Again, we emanate from the Queen City Sportsplex, and we're just in kind of northern Cincinnati, just a little bit north of downtown Cincinnati. If you're familiar with this area, we're south of 275, south of Westchester, but we're a little north of the main part of Cincinnati, off of Reading Road. And this is the home ice of the Mason Comets. Mason is a northern suburb of Cincinnati. Mason is the home of one of the most popular amusement parks in the country called Kings Island. It's been open since 1972. If you're familiar with the old show, The Brady Bunch filmed an episode at Kings Island. And if you're familiar with the Partridge Family, remember them? Shirley Jones, David Cassidy, and Susan Day, and Danny Bonaducci, and them. They filmed an episode at Kings Island one time as well. And a couple of tidbits of trivia about those two different TV series filming at Kings Island. On the Partridge Family, Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame catcher Johnny Bench was on that show. He played a waiter as the Partridges had some snacks outside at a swimming pool outside the Kings Island Motel, and Johnny Bench was their waiter. And some trivia about the Brady Bunch episode filmed at Kings Island. There was almost a big accident where the camera that was hanging off the framing of the big roller coaster that the Bradys were riding on, one of their cameras was hanging down, and it almost hit the actors as they were riding on the roller coaster, which would not have been good, but fortunately it did not. So some Kings Island trivia from the Mason, Ohio area. Yesterday it was a split day for the Beavers. The JV team won in the morning over the Dayton Icehounds JV team by a score of 8-2. Then last night, the varsity Beavers at home ice at the Kettering Ice Arena lost to the Northern Kentucky Norsemen club team by a score of 3-0. And as we were discussing with assistant coach Lloyd, we still felt like it was a victory of sorts for the Beavers, in that they were predicted to lose by 9 goals, but only lost by 3. and so that actually gives them a little bump in the state rankings. So, all right, we're ready. They're going to introduce the starting lineups. First for the Beavers is Wes Bridey. Now we've got Matt Haywood. And coming out next for the Beavers is Zach Vandenbos. And then we've got Hayden Drake. And then we've got Tyler Calander. And the starting goalkeeper tonight is Big Hoss, Gabe Horseman. Now the home standing team, the Mason Comets. First out will be Tanner Levin. And next up is Eli Natorp. And next we've got Peter Marietta, Max Kennedy, Brendan Canham, and lastly the starting goalkeeper for the Comets tonight, and that will be Grayson Adkins. Now everyone, from the Queen City Sportsplex, the playing of our national anthem. Okay, everybody. The Beaver Creek Beavers coming into the game with a record of 2 wins, 7 losses, no ties. Coach is Greg Gutterman. Assistant coach is Brad Lloyd, Cam Quick, Pete Sandus, Andrew Cruz. And the Mason Comets come in with a record of 7 wins, 9 losses, 1 tie. They're coached by James Canham, and their assistant coaches are Joel Doss, Chris Best, and Tracy Keogh. The Beavers tonight will be in their cream-colored sweaters with the black trunks and the orange and black trim, and the Mason Comets in their all-black uniforms with the Kelly gray and white trim. Again, we're emanating from a Queen City Sportsplex in Cincinnati. And as your old pal Kent always says, it's always great to be emanating from somewhere. Because if you're not, that's bad news. Beavers are all set and ready to go, waiting for those Comets. Matthew Haywood will take the opening draw, and his counterpart Eli Natorp. From the draw, here comes Haywood from his own face-off, carries over the Comet line but gets stripped and it's cleared away. On goal at the other end, and Big Hoss will cover that up with Mason's Max Kennedy trying to swoop in at that puck. Face off left wing circle of the Beaver zone. Nate Torp again, and Haywood. This time Nate Torp wins it. It's chucked behind the Beaver net. And then cleared all the way down the ice, and netminder Adkins will let that go for icing against Beaver Creek. New Beavers on the ice from the stoppage of play. We've got Malik, we've got Schrader, and we've got Vandenbos, and we've got J.P. Smith. From the face-off, puck shot to the far side boards. They fight for it there. The puck comes out and then it's dumped back in. Now the Beavers send it out to center. Schrader over the Mason line, left wing, hounded by two Comets, trying to center. Broken up. Fighting off a check at center for the Comets. Andy James carries behind the net. He's hounded there by Newroth. Puck comes along the near wing boards. Behind the net now. It's cleared to the far side. Now sent right back to the near corner. Playing it there. Albers, Finn Albers. He's checked, puck cleared. It rolls on end all the way down into the Mason zone in front of his own net. Brendan Canham. Or check that, Kieran Rodway. Head manning Finn Albers into the Beaver Creek zone. And he lost the handle, and it's cleared away to center. Just underway, a minute and a half into first period, no score. There's Finn Albers rimming the puck behind the Beaver net into the far corner. Back to the left point, now behind the net. For Mason Tyler, check that for... Mason Tyler. Puck dumped off to this near side. And it rolls over to the blue line, picked up for the Beavers by Curve Miller, and then he gets checked down to the ice by Rodway, and the Comets take back over. Puck stolen away by Drake, and he's checked before he could get a shot away. Tried to move right in the slot in front of the Comet net, and two Comets take him down. Here's Rodway for Mason. Ahead for pitcher, he's checked. Puck right at the blue line along the wall. It's tipped to center right at the red line. Now Finn Albers dumps it in the Beaver zone, but that is whistled down. And what do we have? We've got a roughing minor coming up. Looks like, is it a penalty? Yeah, Kieran Rodway. Kieran Rodway goes in for roughing. Face off, right wing circle of the Comet zone from the draw. Shot by Haywood is blocked. Beavers retain possession. Haywood in the corner. Looking for Vandenbos at the point. It's intercepted and flipped ahead by pitcher. Gets around a couple of checks. Pitcher in front of shot, and he whistles one just wide of the near post. Pitcher holds it in. Comets short-handed. Nearly scored a short-handed goal. Now back come the Beavers. Chase Newroth stops as he's headed off by Kennedy. Gets the shot on net, and the save is made by Grayson Adkins. Again, these teams familiar with each other. They played just a couple of weeks ago in the Frozen Creek tournament, and that was a 2-0 win for the Comets, but a tight game. Face off, Newroth against James. Newroth wins it. Shot from the draw, saved by Grayson Adkins. Puck flipped toward the net again, tipped behind the cage. Here's Newroth. Lost it, puck cleared off a stick to center. Drake back to get it. Drake fans on a pass, now dumps it off to Newroth, behind the back to J.P. Smith. Clears it ahead, but then it's rolled all the way down the ice by the Comets. Behind his own net now is Newroth. 53 seconds left in the Beaver power play. Icing waved off, almost an icing call on the Beavers, which when you have a power play is a no-no, but it was waved off. Beavers start back. Brighting has it stripped away. Comets control. Here's a pass. Right wing, Andy James, a shot, and it's right on. And in the breadbasket of Gabe Horseman, and Big Haas just swallows that up and drops it down to the ice. 27 seconds left in the penalty to Kieran Rodway. 10:36 to go in period one. We are scoreless. Face off in the Beaver zone. Tanner Levin takes the draw for the Comets. He wins it. There's a shot by Max Kennedy. Save. Rebound, and Horseman down, and they're still prodding at it after the whistle. Horse has his helmet off. He's able to keep the puck out. 20 seconds left in the Beaver power play. Beavers a one-man advantage. They've got to get the puck down at the other end of the rink. We spoke to Coach Lloyd, assistant Coach Lloyd, before the game, and I asked him about the power play, and he said it's definitely something that's a work in progress. From the draw, shot blocked by Noah Best. Foot race down the ice into the Comet zone and cleared to center. Puck dumped in the Mason zone. Just 5 seconds left in the power play, and that clearing shot down the ice will kill off the penalty. So teams back at full strength. Beavers have possession. Puck flipped in by Newroth. Kennedy back to get it. Newroth rams Kennedy into the boards. Behind the net. Puck centered right in front, but it was behind Evan Schrader. So the Comets come back. Tanner Levin. Side of the Beaver net. Shot pad save by Big Haas. Puck rolled to center. Right at the center red line, Max Kennedy. He'll dump it in. It rims around to the near corner of the Beaver zone. Beavers, J.P. Smith will clear the puck to neutral ice. Picked up there by Brendan Canham. Canham ridden into the boards by Haywood. Loose puck down in behind the Comet, or in front of the Comet net. Pass to Halderman for the Comets. Give and go pass intercepted by Hayden Drake, and he'll dump it in. Back to get it, Curve Miller, but he has it stripped from behind by Noah Best. No score. We've got 8:50 to go in period one. J.P. Smith is bumped down to the ice as he tried to dump the puck in the Comet zone. Halderman for Mason. Give and go pitcher. His return pass broken up. Pitcher gets it back. Pitcher will dump it in. The Beaver zone, back to get it, Hayden Drake. Rims it around to the far side, held in by, no, pitcher unable to hold it in. Puck loose the other way. Here is Drake. Tries to center the puck, but no one's there in the slot. Puck held in by Brighting, Zach Brighting. Clearing shot off a stick. Now pitcher scoops it up. Pitcher pass for Halderman, and he'll steer it into the near corner of the Beaver zone. No score, 8 minutes to play first period. Zach Brighting, clearing shot, intercepted by Andy James. James is clearing shot, fans on. Loose puck along this near side. Halderman tips it down the ice, and icing waved off against the Comets. Back to get it, Curtis Crimmins. And pass at center, Best for Mason to Albers over the Beaver line. Albers trying to center, and he's veered off to the near wing boards. Puck rimmed now to the far side. There's Albers. Dumps it behind the net in the Beaver zone. They fight for it in court. Now Albers, a one-time shot, is wide. It's off the trapping mitt of Horseman. No score, under 7 minutes to play in the period, and an icing call on the Beavers. What are your shots so far there, Craig?
5-1.
5-1 in favor of Mason. Shots on goal at this time. Power plays, there's been one in the game. It was the Beavers, and they obviously with no score were unable to put one in on that man advantage. Puck tipped to the blue line by the Beavers' Liam Corrigan. Now it's dumped behind the net. Beavers clear it. Dumping right back in, Noah Best. Beavers try to start out again. J.P. Smith, pass at center, intercepted by Noah Best. He sends it over on the left wing side for Seamus Kennedy. He dumps it in. Beavers, Vandenbos dumps it back out, and he has it again. Vandenbos again clears the puck. Puck rolled into the Beaver zone. It's loose. There's Tanner Levin. Now behind the net, and we've got a whistle, and we've got a penalty coming up. I think it's on Mason again, I believe. A roughing minor, and that is Peter Marietta. So Peter Marietta goes in on roughing. Second roughing minor of the period on Mason. The other one was on Kieran Rodway. Face-off will be down in the Mason zone because they took the penalty. There's a blast by Shotgun Drake that's hammered wide. Now moving in, Vandenbos' shot blocked in front. At Karam's behind the net, trying to pick it up, Newroth. Newroth checked by Rodway. They haggle for it, and the puck tangles up in the netting of the cage, and that will result in a face-off. Down to 5:41 left in the period, no score. Newroth taking the draw for the Beavers. And I think it's against Noah Best. And Newroth wins the draw. A shot from the face-off is blocked. Now here's Drake off the far boards in the corner for Ethan Malik. Malik rims it around for Haywood. It comes to Zach Briding at the left point. Bangs it off the corner boards, off to the far side to Malik. Near corner, Haywood. And a pass to the point for Briding, gets past him. It was behind him and down the ice. That's good for Mason. That kills time for them. And now Briding has the puck stripped away. Here's a blast from the left point, kicked out by Horseman. They took the puck away and got a pass over to the left point, and a big one-time slap shot. There's a centering pass that's tipped wide to the Beaver net by Rodway. Of course, the one-time shot is when you don't stop the puck and set it up. You just wind up and let it go as the puck comes to you. Here comes Chase Newroth over the line. Shot, pad save, Adkins. Rebound still live in the Mason zone. Here's Drake teeing it up. A shot, and he scores! Hayden Drake pulls out the howitzer and rifles one in. It sounded like it pinged in off the goalpost from the center point near the blue line, and the Beavers take a 1-0 lead on a power play goal by Hayden Drake. And for Mr. Drake, I've got that unofficially as his second goal of the season. We'll see if we get the assist on that. Listen for the assist.
Okay.
4 minutes to go in the second. 1-0 Beavers. Here's Noah Best for Mason. Shot over to Kennedy. His shot blocked. Noah Best shot. It's right in front and cleared away. Boy, that puck was precariously loose in front of the Beaver net for a couple of moments. Did they say anything yet?
Haven't heard it yet.
Okay.
Of course, their sound system's not the best.
Yeah. Puck in the Beaver zone. It's centered and deflected off a stick to the corner. 3.5 to go in the period. Beavers lead it 1-0. Puck rolls into the Mason zone, played by Max Kennedy. Pass at center, broken up by Smith, and cleared. There's a big hit on the Beavers' Vandenbos as he cleared the puck in the Mason zone. There's a shot by the Beavers that's wide. That's taken by Smith, I believe. Here comes Tanner Levin. He's got a clearing on right wing. Centering pass broken up by Schrader. Schrader trying to get the puck out. He's tied up by Crimmins. Now here's Levin behind the Beaver net, stripped by Drake. Bangs it off the dasher, not out. Held in by Todorov. Sends it behind the Beaver net again. Here's Evan Schrader for the Beavers. Couldn't get his stick on the puck here behind the net. Kicking it ahead is Newroth. Puck fought for along the far wing boards. J.P. Smith after it, trying to bang some guys around down there. Puck centered off the pads of Horseman. That is a save, and the puck is cleared away, and it's icing on Beaver Creek. So we unfortunately are unable to ascertain the assist on that Beaver goal, if there were any. So unofficially, I've got that as Hayden Drake's second goal of the season. Eli Natorp takes the draw for the Comets, and he wins it back to Todorov. Behind the net for Levin, but he lost an edge and goes down. But cleared along the wall. It comes free. There's a shot in front, and it's tipped now to the corner along these near wing boards. After it, Gabe Todorov. Puck centered and cleared away by the Beavers. Curve Miller. Here is Brendan Canham for Mason. Pass ahead, give and go for Tanner Levin over the Beaver line. Side of the net, trying to center it, and it's intercepted and flipped down the ice by Hayden Drake. Natorp pushed down to the ice at center. Puck dumped into the side of the Beaver net. Set up by Horseman for Zach Vandenbos. His shot ahead intercepted and cleared back, and the Beavers empty it back to center. Halderman drops it off for, that is Grant Herr. He sends it in, and the Beavers dump it right back down the ice, and no icing. The puck stopped before it passed the goal line down at this other end. 4.5 minutes to play in the period. Beavers in the cream-colored sweaters lead it 1-0. Here's Vandenbos, or Malik rather. Ethan Malik, shot from the left wing boards, and the save made by Grayson Atkins. Again, the goal scorer is Hayden Drake. Is unofficially his second of the season. And despite the shot disparity favoring Mason, the Beavers lead it 1-0. From the draw in the Mason zone, Schrader has it, sends it in front of shot, and a pad save by Atkins right as Schrader was getting knocked down to the ice. At neutral ice, it's Chase Newroth. Now he'll dump it in front of the Comet net. Here is Halderman for Mason. He rolls it in on net. A stick save for Horseman, and Big Hoss will cover it up. Shot by Caleb Halderman. There's 10 seconds left in the period. The Beavers executing the game plan well so far, trying to keep the Comets as much from out of the front of the net. There's a shot by Canham that's blocked in front. Trying to keep the Comets in front of the net as much as possible and eliminate as many high danger chances as possible. Good period for the Beavers. After one, they lead the Mason Comets by a score of 1-0. Again, the goal scored by Hayden Drake, and I've got unofficially his second of the season. We did not get an announcement of any assists, so we are unaware of assists. I'd like to mention one of our principal sponsors, Beaver Creek Hockey, once again this season, and it is Rhonda Shamball. Rhonda Shamball of Iron Gate Realty. Rhonda is the #1 real estate agent in Beaver Creek and Greene County since the year 2011. She has experience in New Mexico, Arizona, Virginia, and Alabama for military moves. Rhonda has sold over $280 million in homes. She's a Miami University grad. Go to IronGateRealtors.com to find Rhonda, or call her at 776-8432. If you're interested in buying or selling a house, you'll want to see our good friend Rhonda Shamball, who for many years now has sponsored Beaver Creek Hockey and Dayton Stealth Hockey as well. So she's a great friend of the local hockey scene. Ready to go, folks. They'll resurface the ice after the second period. 1-0 Beavers. Puck dropped. We're underway in the second. There's a centering pass. It's tipped in front now, deflected off. And trying to hold the puck in was Curtis Crimmins, but it's intercepted and cleared away. Again, the Beavers in the cream-colored sweaters. There's a centering pass, and all alone in front was Finn Albers, but the puck was behind him. Very fortuitous for the Beavers on that play. Here's Albers, far side. Carries back to the point. Stays inside the blue line, drops it off, left wing circle, centering pass in front, and it deflects back to the corner. Picked up there by James. There's a shot from Albers that's wide, and puck cleared down the ice. We're 1 minute into period number 2. 1-0 Beavers lead it. Mason in their black uniforms. Here is Canham. Pass off the stick of Albers. Trying to pick it up, James. It's chopped away from him. Loose puck on the boards. On this near side, they haggle for it in the corner, and it's shot down the ice. And that'll be an icing violation on Beaver Creek. Again, we're at the Queen City Sportsplex, just a little bit north of downtown Cincinnati. Home ice of the Mason Comets. Puck dropped in the Beaver zone, cleared to center. Noah Best back to get it. Hands it off to Tanner Levin. Rink wide pass for Pete Marietta. Carries behind the net. Puck carries back to the blue line, and it comes free to center, and the Comets have to circle back. Here's Eli Natorp. He'll leave the puck for Kennedy. His pass ahead to Marietta, intercepted by Malik, and then Malik is dumped down to the ice by Marietta as he crossed over into the Mason zone. Puck chipped to the center red line. Picked up by Tanner Levin, and we've got a whistle as he carried in the Beaver zone. Pete Marietta, his teammate, was already in over the line, and that's offside on Mason. Eli Natorp versus Matthew Haywood. On the near dot outside the Beaver zone. Comets win the draw. It's dumped behind the Beaver net. Back to get it, Chase Newroth. He shakes off a check. Sends it along the boards. Puck picked up by Calander at center. Tyler Calander chips it in the Mason zone. Comets take back over. Marietta trying to get around Brighting. He'll shovel it in behind the Beaver net. Back to get it, Newroth. Newroth. Pass gets through to neutral ice, intercepted by Canham. Canham pass to the center red line, intended for Haldeman is breaking up. And then the puck is chipped over the glass into the netting, and that will be a stoppage of play and a face-off. 12:05 to go in the second period. The Beavers, despite being outshot in this game so far, they lead it 1-0. A power play goal by Hayden Drake. There's Drake. He bangs it off the near wall to J.P. Smith, and he'll send it in behind the Comet net. Along this near wall, it's Halderman. He's checked. They fight for it. Pitcher fighting for it for the Beavers. Malik after it. They all dig at the puck. It comes free, and it's the Jeffrey Pitcher, and a clearing shot all the way down the ice, and Horseman is able to cover it up as it was tipped to the side of the net. And a big Jeffrey Pitcher, he's one of, if not the biggest kid out on the ice today. He looks like a college player out there. He was prodding at the puck at the side of the Beaver net. Face off, left wing circle. Beavers win it, and it's cleared all the way back to the Mason line. Back to get it, Brendan Canham. Canham stops behind his own net. Looks for an outlet pass. Now he starts to carry it out. Pass up for teammate Todorov, and he's checked. Beavers trying to hold it in the Mason zone. Now it kicks free to center. Vandenbos flips it ahead into the Mason zone. Emptied right back out, and again there is Vandenbos, and he'll clear it, and that'll be an icing violation against Beaver Creek as the puck carries the length of the ice. Any chat messages, guys? Nope. Nothing?
Not as of a minute ago.
Oh, wow.
I'll double check. Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Is there anybody watching? There are.
Oh, you haven't read any of them? I thought you read the first two.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you read the first two.
Yeah, we'll get to those chat messages shortly, guys. Face off in the Beaver zone. Comets have it. There's a shot. Oh, and that was a shot by Albers intended for James to tip it, and from the side of the net, Andy James' shot. Pad save by Horseman. Comets center the puck. It's loose in front. And Canham trying to get a tip on it. And now it's cleared to center. Here comes Ethan Malik into the Mason zone. A shot! He scored! Ethan Ethan Malik. There was a rush in front of the Beaver net. Several players of both teams trying to chop at it. The puck comes out down the ice. Malik picks it up at center. Is able to race down the ice on right wing. He had a clearing and a nice wrist shot from the top of the face-off circle on right wing. Gets in behind Atkins. It was the shot had some lift to it, and that was important. It got over his blocker pad, and it's 2-0 Beavers.
I couldn't understand a word he said.
So, Ethan Malik. Even strength goal, and for Malik, I've got that unofficially as his 4th goal of the season. And now the Comets score at the other end. They rushed the net, and they had several Comets right at the crease, and it looks like it's Max Kennedy. So right away, after the Beavers increase their lead to 2-0, the Comets get on the board. And the partisan Comet crowd likes that. So it's 2-1, and those chat messages, Brendan Calander says, we believe in the system. Andy M says, go Creek, let's get another league win. Cindy Mesnard says, go Creek, watching for a goal from Chase Newroth tonight. Thanks, Cindy, thanks, Brendan, and thanks, Andy. We love hearing from all of the listeners out there, and if you happen to be a Mason Comet rooter, go ahead and send us a chat to centering pass in front. And they score. I didn't see a signal from the official, so I had to hesitate on that. But it was a nice centering pass in front. Was that a goal or was it?
No goal.
No, there's no goal. They blew the horn.
Yeah, somebody jumped the gun.
Okay. I was waiting for a signal, didn't get one, and then they blew the horn. So I thought they had scored. So no goal. So the horn operator messed up, and then I followed his lead. We had a false alarm last night on a goal by Northern Kentucky. Here's Marietta into the Beaver zone, centering pass, and Albers, or Levin rather, crashes into the net, knocks it loose. So no goal. They blew the horn and everything, but no goals, and it remains 2-1. So face-off will be taken outside the Beaver zone. So it remains 2-1, 8:59 to go in the second. From the draw, Beavers win it. And Newroth clears to center for J.P. Smith into the Mason zone. Around Rodway, or Canham rather. Behind the net, Canham takes it away. Pass back to the blue line. Beavers hold it in with Newroth. He sends it into the corner. 8.5 to go in the second, 2-1 Beavers. Here come the Comets the other way. Andy James over the Beaver line. Shot wide of the net. Puck caroms back to center ice past Gabe Todoroff. He's back to get it. His pass intercepted by Newroth. Sends it back to the Mason line. Todoroff gets it back. Gabriel Todoroff. Pass behind Halderman. Whack down the ice. Back off a stick to center. Halderman takes it away. Halderman drops it off to James. Left wing circle. Screen shot. Pad save by Big Haas. Puck centered again. Pad save by Horseman. Brendan Canham sends it behind the Beaver net. Coach Gutterman said he was going to split the time for the goalies, and that we're right now exactly at the halfway point of the game. And indeed, here comes Talon Patterson. We are just a couple of seconds short of midway through the game, and now Talon Patterson. They did the same thing last night. Gabe started the game, and Horseman played the second half. There goes Big Haas. He played extremely well tonight. He did last night as well. Talon Patterson was great last night, so we'll see how he does today. There's a shot. Actually, a pass over to Best. Pad save. Rebound. Tipped behind, behind the net. Puck center again. And it's covered up by Patterson. And now what do we have here? Patterson out of the crease. I guess he's just straightening it out.
Gabe had 15 shots and 14 saves.
And we got from Dave Vandenbos that Gabe had 15 shots on him and 14 saves. Right away, Talon Patterson tested and he made a stop. Puck centered again, and it's intercepted by Patterson at the side of the net. And he'll hold on to it. And penalties in the game, 2-0 Mason. They've had 2 penalties. The Beavers 1 out of 2 on the power play. Nate Torp against, who is that? Looks like Haywood. Puck dropped. Canham at the blue line holds it in. Drops it back for Levin. He's tied up by Drake. Loose puck. Natorp. Levin trying to center it. It's tipped in front, and Patterson will hold on to it. And assistant coach Brad Boyd, speaking to him before the game, I mentioned the goaltending. He said, hey, these are both big kids. Of course, Gabe Horseman, like 6'5" or 6'6", and then he's got the skates on. And Talon Patterson, not much shorter. He's got to be 6'2", 6'3", I believe. From the face-off, here's Brendan Canham flipping in front, and Patterson will hold on to that one. 6:43 to go in the second. Face-off in the Beaver zone. Playing it New Roth, checked by Levin. He sends it over in the corner of his own net. Now for the Comets, here's Levin. Drops it off to the point. There's a shot, pad save, and Patterson will hold on to it. So the Comets putting on some heavy pressure on the Beaver cage as we are 6.5 minutes to go in the second period. They're trying to get this game tied up before the end of the frame. Schrader and Haywood on the ice for the Beavers. Face off in the Beaver zone. It's swatted with a hand over to the boards by Newroth out from in front of the net off the draw. From behind the Beaver net. Puck passed over for Natorp. Back for Marietta. Natorp's fans on a shot. Puck still in the Beaver zone, however. Puck center for Natorp. One-time shot! And it's a save by Patterson. Puck off his stick and over the glass. Great shot by Eli Natorp. The puck rolled over to him, and he cocked and fired a one-timer. Great shot, but Mr. Patterson had his blocker and stick right there. He had a clear view of the shot and was able to deflect it over the glass. Face off outside the Beaver zone is pitcher against Malik. Puck dropped. Malik wins the draw. Calander trying to move it ahead. It's off a stick over to Halderman. Halderman checked as he entered the Beaver zone. The puck is cleared. Puck tipped in the Beaver zone by Finn Albers. They chase it around to the far side boards. Puck is shot to center by the Beavers. Back to get it for Mason. Max Kennedy. Cleared not out, held in by Malik. Dumps back behind the Mason net. There's Calander trying to make a play from behind the cage. Malik in front. Centering pass, and a tip is wide. Nice play, Calander to Malik. He has his stick now, got a backhander from right in front of the net, but the tip was just wide of the near post. Now racing back the Comets, right in front, and they score! What a play by Finn Albers, coast to coast. So the Beavers just miss on a tip in front, and Finn Albers for the Comets takes the puck all the way from one end of the rink to the other and slips one behind Patterson to tie the game at 2 apiece. We got a good one here, folks. 4:49 to go in the second period. From the draw at center. Here is Andy James, the man with no last name. Andy James drops it off to Crimmins. Curtis Crimmins dumps it in. James centers, and it's off the side of the net and cleared away by the Beavers. Back to get it for the Comets is Gabe Todorov. He barrels in the center ice. Gabe Todorov into the Beaver Creek zone. Left wing circle. Todorov cuts behind the net. Checked by Newroff. Todorov still has it. Now back to the blue line. Still has it. Todorov. Drop pass stolen away by Haywood. Riding shotgun with J.P. Smith. And a pass to Smith is off his stick. And that kills off that 2-on-1 rush. Beavers, check that, Haywood, a shot, and turned aside by Grayson Atkins. There's Calander. Centering, intended for Wes Brighting. And it's broken up into the corner. Haywood has it. Looking for a Calander behind the net. Puck is intercepted by Natorp. Here come the Comets, pass all the way down the ice, and having to make a stop and actually a save on this play from the clearing shot down the ice is Talon Patterson. And with 3:20 to go in the second, we'll have a face-off in the Beaver zone to our left. Eli Natorp with Ethan Malik going at it on the draw. From the face-off, puck still fought for in front, and it's tipped behind the Beaver net by Natorp. Now Natorp gets it back in the corner. Pass to Noah Best is chipped over the glass off a stick, and we'll have another face-off. .306 to go in the second. Face off in the Beaver zone. Best a shot from the left point is blocked. To center ice, Ethan Malik. He's got Calander to his right. Malik is checked and the puck is swept to center. Here comes Noah Best for Mason, and after he crosses over the Beaver line on right wing, he lets rip a wrist shot that's caught shoulder high by Talon Patterson. Face off, right wing circle of the Beaver zone. Haywood against, I didn't see who that was for Mason. Puck is cleared all the way down the ice. The face-off combatant was Natorp, Eli Natorp, and they're going to do it again as it's icing on the Beavers. Natorp, again, will probably square off with Haywood. Got a message. It disappeared. Oh, hold on, folks. Puck held in. Best a one-timer blast that's blocked by the Beavers. Haywood. Now here comes Evan Schrader, but lost an edge and goes down as he sweeps the puck in the Mason zone. 2.5 to go in the second period. 2-2 the score. Good game here in Cincinnati. Hayden Drake flips the puck into the Mason zone as Haywood is tangled down by Levin, and then Levin got away with a slash. He slaps Haywood, and now a whistle. Did the ref see that? There was a slash on Levin, and I think he will go off. Did they see it? Or not? No, it's Haywood that's going in. Well, Haywood could go in, but Levin ought to be going in as well because he slapped Haywood with a stick after the play. So what was the signal on the penalty? Did you see it? Haywood holding. Okay, I can see that because they did tangle up, but then Levin slapped him with a stick, but they didn't see that. So power play for the Comets. They're trying to take the lead in this game with 2 minutes to go in the second. They were down 1-0 and then 2-1. Comets hold it in. Here's Brendan Canham. One-man advantage for the Comets. They're in the all-black uniform. There's Pitcher centering. It's reflected right back to him, and then the puck pops in the netting. A couple of chat messages. Alec Gutterman says, let's go Beavers. Thank you, Alec. Alec Gutterman. Another face-off in the Beaver zone. 1:36 to go in the second. 2-2 the score. From the draw, James tips it in on goal. Patterson the save. Another face-off. And it's senior night for these Mason Comets. I didn't get a listing of who the seniors are, but we wish them well as they continue their life after high school hockey. And now we've got a whistle, and we're going to have another penalty coming up. This time on Mason, I believe. Big Jeff Pitcher, he's complaining. He's saying, hey, I didn't do anything, ref. So 98 for, that's a hold, I think he said. Holding. So both teams have 2 penalties in the game now. Oh, that's Creek. I beg your pardon. No, it's 3-1 in favor of Mason is penalties. 4-on-4. Here's Todorov. Left wing circle shot blocked by Drake. Todorov again. Drops it behind the net. We're 4-on-4 4-on-4 right now, folks. Loose puck picked up. Holderman shot, and that's blocked. Shot by Canamy, partially fanned on. Puck held in by the Comets. Andy James behind the Beaver net. James backhands it in front and covered up by Talon Patterson. We only have 35 seconds left in the period. Again, right now, Matthew Haywood in the box for Beaver Creek, a hold, and a Jeffrey Pitcher in the box for Mason with a hold. They shouldn't have 5 guys on the ice, should they? They shouldn't have 5 guys on the ice.
Yes, 5-on-4 because the second one was coincidental.
Oh, okay. All right. So 5-on-4 for 8 seconds in favor of Mason. Here's a shot, and Patterson made a stop, and a rebound was tipped wide. And the Beavers clear it, and we're back to full strength. 15 seconds left in the period. Well, actually, they say there's 7 seconds left in the power play. Finn Albers going all the way, and his shot is wide as he cut through the slot in front of the Beaver net. Andy James trying to get a shot away, but the buzzer sounds. Now we've got a tussle between Zach Brighting and Mason's Caleb Holderman. And we'll see if anything occurs from that little scuffle. I don't see them signaling anything, so maybe no penalties on that little wrestling match in front of the Mason net. So we've completed 2 periods of play at the Queen City Sportsplex in the Queen City of the Ohio, Cincinnati. And what a game we've got so far, folks. The score is Beaver Creek 2 and Mason 2. We're going to step aside to hear from a few of our sponsors.
Whenever you're ready.
And then we'll be back in just a few minutes. This is Beaver Creek battling Beavers hockey.
It takes a pro to stop termites. Call Go-To Pros Pest Control for the best protection in town. Steep price increase on your current plan? Call us for a second opinion and review. No termite protection? Don't wait till you find damage. Call Go-To Pros today.
Dayton MMA Academy. Family, honor, respect. Dayton, Ohio's elite Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and self-defense academy We offer classes for anyone and everyone of any skill level to be able to train and build confidence while getting in great shape. From striking to elite grappling, we're here to help you on your journey to a better life. If you're in the Dayton, Ohio area and looking for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Thai boxing, or submission grappling, or self-defense, we have an option for you. We offer private lessons and group classes. We encourage you to come try a free week of unlimited classes in our Beaver Creek, Ohio Academy. Do not just take others' words for it. Come experience the best atmosphere in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at Dayton MMA Team Renzo Gracie. We're a proud sponsor of Beaver Creek Varsity Hockey. Go Creek!
Go. Hey, hockey fans, do you feel like you're skating on thin ice with the IRS? Maybe you feel like your retirement planning is in the penalty box. Hey, I'm Curve Miller, Senior Wealth Advisor and Senior Vice President of Russell Total Wealth and Wellness, where we help good people make great decisions so they can have an amazing retirement. Now, when is the last time you took a look at the risk you're taking with your money? It could be time to sharpen your planning so you can pursue a total wealth hat trick with your retirement savings. Don't skate with your head down. Get in the game and pursue your goals with your head up. Now let's get back to the action. Go Creek Hockey!
Concerned about dealing with your players' parents? Need advice on enhancing your players' game day performance? Want to know how to run an effective practice? Finally, a concise guide to help the youth sports coach succeed with players and parents. Hustle and Have Fun is the perfect book for coaches, players, and parents across all youth sports and outdoor activities. Written by retired Air Force Brigadier General and Beaver Creek head coach General Greg Gutterman, he's captured 3 decades of hockey coaching experience and put them into 7 practical recommendations for coaches of children, teen, youth, and young adult sports. From training to game day management to communicating with parents, this is your definitive blueprint for becoming an effective player-centric coach. You can do this in Coach Greg Gutterman's Hustle and Have Fun, and a coach's guide to winning over players and parents is your blueprint for teaching character through sports. If you lead, teach, or coach at any level, this is the perfect book for you. Hustle and Have Fun is available at Amazon.com, also BarnesandNoble.com, or at Books A Million or IndieBound. Two to two, the score, folks, after 2 periods of play at Queen City Sportsplex. Goals in the game for the Beaver Creek Beavers by Hayden Drake, a power play goal, and then by Ethan Malik, an even strength goal. We did not, it's so hard to make out the public address here that we did not catch the assists on any of the goals scored. For Mason, the 2 goals scored were by Max Kennedy and by Finn Albers. Taking a look at the NFL right now as the Zamboni is still making a few more rounds. here at Queen City Sportsplex. Games in progress. Denver 31, Indianapolis 13 in the fourth quarter. Big game in Detroit. It is Buffalo 45, Detroit 35 with 2:50 left in the fourth quarter. And Buffalo has the ball on the Detroit 25-yard line trying to finish that game off. It would be another big win for the Bills. They have one big win over the Chiefs of Kansas City. And now they have a big win over Detroit. Final scores right now. The Philadelphia Eagles had kind of exposed the Pittsburgh Steelers, beating Pittsburgh 27-13. I think the Philadelphia Eagles ran the table against the AFC North. They beat the Bengals. I think they beat the Browns, and they may have beaten the Ravens, maybe. But they beat Pittsburgh tonight. Big win for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They powder the Los Angeles Chargers by a score of 40-17. Who saw that coming? The Chargers have been resurgent. They lost a tough game to Kansas City, but they had been playing very well. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers leveled the Chargers today 40-17. Kansas City defeats Cleveland by a score of 21-7. The Cincinnati Bengals defeat Tennessee 37-27. Washington over New Orleans by a score of 20-19. The Baltimore Ravens over the New York Giants 35-14. Dallas defeats Carolina 30-14. The Jets defeat Jacksonville 32-25. Houston over Miami today. Big win for Houston. Bad loss for Miami. Final score 20-12. Arizona over New England 30-17. Thursday it was the LA Rams 12, San Francisco only 6. Games pending later on tonight. Who do we have later on tonight? Green Bay at Seattle. That's at 8:20 tonight. And games coming up tomorrow night, there's two of them. Chicago at Minnesota and Atlanta at Las Vegas. We have some time. National Hockey League scores right now going on. The St. Louis Blues, who are the favored team of yours truly, they lead the New York Rangers 3-0 in the second period, late in the second period. Other games in progress: Toronto 4, Buffalo 3. That's with 5 minutes left in the third period. Tough news for local fans. The Columbus Blue Jackets are trailing the Carolina Hurricanes 4-1 in the third period. And it's Vegas 2, Minnesota 1. That's a big game. Minnesota is having a great season. The Vegas Golden Knights are trying to be resurgent, and they're leading 2-1 with 5 minutes to go in the second period. One final today: Chicago over the New York Islanders 5-3. And that's a surprise. The Blackhawks in a rebuild mode right now. Now there's a whistle as teams will go to their bench. For some final instructions. Games going on in the NBA right now. Boston over Washington 79-67 in the third quarter. Knicks 63, Magic 51 in the third. Timberwolves 28, Spurs 22 in the second. And one final score: Indiana over New Orleans 119-104. We would have gotten to some college basketball, but we don't have time right now. Waiting for the start of the third period. And Buffalo, incidentally, has scored again. They lead Detroit 48-35. This might be the year for the Buffalo Bills, tell you the truth, folks. Maybe. I think it's going to be a very exciting NFL postseason. From the draw to start the third period, as we are knotted up at 2 apiece. Beavers in the cream-colored sweaters and the black trunks. The Mason Comets in all black. There's a chance in front, and Grayson Albers kept it out. Puck centered again, and it gets behind Calander. And Haywood had a chance at a tip in front, but the puck is cleared to center ice and now up over, not over the boards, it just flipped up in the air. Puck still in play. Hayden Drake, pass intended for Malik, gets all the way behind the Comet net. And the Comets in the all-black uniforms. Here comes Gabe Todorov into the Beaver zone, trying to carry in front and lost the handle of the puck. After it for Mason Finn Albers. Albers, who scored a goal in this game, gets it along the boards for Andy James. James back to the point for Canham. Canham centers and trying to get a tip was Crimmins, but it carries off to the far boards. Beavers trying to clear. They're unable to. Now it's cleared to center. Puck skitters back into the Mason zone. 2-2 the score. And we've got 13 and a half to go in the third period. Regulation time. Loose puck. Almost a breakout for Curve Miller. And not quite able to catch up to it before several Comets do. Now along this near wall, Haywood for Beaver Creek. Over the Mason line, shot and steered aside up over the glass by Grayson Atkins, and that will result in a face-off. We've got a message from Craig Newroth, Finish Strong Creek. Is that Brooke, or is that you? That's you?
Testing our abilities.
Testing our abilities. So our camera operator says, go Creek. Okay, folks. Puck cleared to center. Nate Torp loses an edge and goes down, and we've got a whistle. I think it's offside, I believe, at the Beaver blue line. Face off right on this near dot outside the Beaver zone. Nate Torp against Haywood. From the draw, Nate Torp wins it back to Max Kennedy. Kennedy will shovel it in the Beaver zone. Beavers take over. Newroth. Pass off the near boards. Nobody's there, and it caroms all the way back over the Mason goal line at the other end. It is icing against Beaver Creek. 12:38 to play in regulation. Nate Torp again against Matt Haywood. Nate Torp wins it. Pass along the near wing boards for Herr. Grant Herr ridden into the boards by Wes Briding. Puck banged along the wall. Back to center. And Noah Best tips it in the Beaver zone. It's volleyed right back out, and Best will dump it back in. And Nate Torp will just dump it down the ice and head to the bench on a line change. That's icing again against Beaver Creek. Face off again in the Beaver zone to the left of Talon Patterson in the crease for Beaver Creek. Big Hoss, Gabe Horseman, started the game. Played the first half of the game, gave up 1 goal, and Talon Patterson has given up 1 goal. He came in right almost exactly at the midway point of the game, 7:28 to go in the second. Right now we're under 12 minutes to play. There's a shot, And in and out of the trapping mitt of Patterson. Comets still have it in the Beaver zone. Kennedy over for Albers. Albers chips it right back in the corner. And it's cleared past Todorov down the ice. Gabe Todorov, and actually the puck comes in on goal. It's a save registered by Atkins. And he'll leave it for teammate Gabe Todorov. Rink wide pass for Albers, broken up. Loose puck picked up by Pitcher. A shot, and nice whistling wrist shot. And he would have had Patterson beat on his stick side had the puck been low enough, but it goes up over the crossbar. Here's Canham for Mason. Dumps it in the corner for Halderman. Caleb Halderman trying to return it back to Canham. Back to Halderman. He's stripped of the puck. They fight for it in the near corner of the Beaver zone. Beavers trying to come out with it. Brighting, and he'll send it down the ice, and that'll be an icing violation on the Beavers. Clock stop, 10:44 to go in the third. Beaver Creek, what are your shots? What are your shots so far, Dave?
31-10.
So unofficially, Mason Comets are favored in shots right now on goal, 31-10, but it's a 2-2 game. The Beavers actually had a 1-0 lead after one period, and then the Comets outscore the Beavers 2-1 in the second to tie it up. That's where we stand. Here's a chance for the Comets. Noah Best, he has to let the puck go behind the net for Crimmins. And a pass back to the point for Albers, gets away from him to center. Albers checked by Kalander. Albers circles back to his own blue line. Rink wide pass for Natorp. He dumps it behind the net. There is Chase Newroth for the Beavers. Newroth and Wes Brighting fighting for it behind the Beaver net. And it's cleared all the way down, and again, icing against Beaver Creek. So again, the Beaver strategy when they're kind of outmanned in this type of game, just like last night against Northern Kentucky, is try to keep, you know you're going to get outshot. Try to keep the Comet players from out in front of the net and try to keep the shots more to the outside and not inside that home plate area or house area between the face-off circles. Here comes a chance for Haywood into the Mason zone, and he is pickpocketed there by Canham. Back come the Comets. Here's Natorp, right wing circle. He corrals the puck, then he has to send it off to the far side for Kieran Rodway. He's checked. Loose puck. Levin, he'll dump off to the far corner for Rodway. Back in front, a tip and side of the net, and Patterson fighting for it. And he's got it. And his mask is off. A little bit of roughhousing in front of the Beaver net, and goalkeeper Talon Patterson has to adjust some equipment. He's got his mask off down there behind the net. 9:13 to play in the third. And I don't know at this point if the game is tied whether they'll have overtime. I assume they would, but we'll have to find that out when we cross that bridge. Probably depends on if they have time left that they've rented the rink for. Now they move the face-off outside the Beaver zone. Natorp against Malik. Natorp wins it back to Todorov. Gabe Todorov. Pass is just past the ref, off the wall into the Beaver zone, is sent right back out. And trying to pick it up was Liam Corrigan, but puck hopped over his stick and it's dumped in by Tanner Levin of Mason. Natorp looking for the puck in front for the Comets. He drifts back to the point, and the puck gets past him down the ice. And it'll be icing violation against Beaver Creek. Another face-off down in the Beaver zone. Just like last night, a lot of time, puck possession time by the opponents down in the Beaver zone, but they're trying to minimize the high danger chances and have been able to, and this game is still tied 2 apiece. There's a shot from the draw, and they score. Well, when you're being outshot by that disparity, it's a matter of time. This time it's Brendan Canham. And the Comets take their first lead of the game now at 3-2. .840 to go in regulation, so we'll see if the Beavers, behind for the first time in the game, can make a play down in the Mason zone to get this thing tied up. Here's Halderman. He lost the puck behind him. Comets have to circle back. Here's Jeffrey Pitcher, a shot. And plucking that puck out of the air head high was Talon Patterson. 3-2 now, Mason. This is a league game, even though the Comets have club status right now. They were given permission by the Southwest Ohio High School Hockey League to continue play in the Swashel. Now Andy James back to the point. Canham. Canham's pass off a skate boot down the ice. Foot race the other way between Malik and James. Puck sent to center ice for Rodway over the Beaver line, left wing. Rodway, pass broken up. Puck cleared. Here's a foot race again. Down the ice, it's a shot. And I think that was Corrigan who had the semi-breakaway. 7:20 to go, a shot in front, and they score! Finn Albers. Patterson was down in the crease. I think he made an initial save, but Finn Albers is there to punch in the rebound. Second goal of the game for Finn Albers. And now the Beavers are going to take timeout. As the Comets now have scored 3 unanswered goals to come from behind 2-1 to take a 4-2 lead. And I think what Coach Gutterman and his staff are going to try to get the Beavers to do is, on these last 2 goals, they've come right in front of the net. And that's what I mentioned a little while ago, was that the Beavers they're outmanned, outsized. So what they're trying to do is just minimize the high danger chances by trying to keep the Comets from out in front of the net and in that house area, or it looks shaped like a home plate in front of the net between the crease and the face-off circles. And lately they have been unable to do so, and it's resulted in 2 goals in this period. And the Comets now lead at 4-2 we're just past the midway point of this third period. Hayden Drake has it stripped from behind. Comets center again, and a tip in front. by Natorp is right on, and a pad save by Patterson.
What are your shots now, David? 36-10.
So right now, unofficially, the shots on goal favoring Mason 36-10. And that is translated into a 4-2 Comet lead. Face off down in the Beavers zone. Circle to the right of Patterson. Noah Best holds it in. Chucks it in the corner for teammate Tanner Levin. Now the puck is off a stick to center ice, cleared by the Beavers' Ethan Malik. Comets take back over in their own zone. At center, Noah Best. Pass broken up by Drake. Puck chipped in the far corner of the Beaver zone, and then it's banged off the netting above the glass, out of play by Drake, and it'll be a face-off. 6.5 to go in the game. Due to the logistics here, we will not have a player of the game interview after this contest. We'll just go straight to a 3 stars and the hard hat, and then we'll wrap things up after the game. There's J.P. Smith. He'll dump it in the Comet zone. Back to get it. Brendan Canham. Canham ahead for Halderman. Dumped into the Beaver zone. There's a one-time blast by Jeff Pitcher wide of the Beaver net. And he might be the biggest kid on the ice today. Here come the Beavers. Chase Newroth gets past Pitcher. Puck rolls off his stick as he tried to carry in the Mason zone, and 2-on-1 the other way. Halderman along with Albers. A shot, and they score! 2-on-1 breakaway, and it's a hat trick for Finn Albers. He went in riding shotgun with Caleb Alderman. He holds on to it, fakes a shot, and then is able to slip it in behind Talon Patterson for Finn Albers, his 3rd goal of the game. And there's netting here that goes from the ceiling on the way down to the glass, so no one's able to toss any hats on the ice. But it's now 5-2 in favor of the Mason Comets. Face off at center, Pitcher against Ethan Malik. 5.5 to go in regulation, now 5-2. Or what a comeback by the Mason Comets. They trailed 1-0 and then 2-1, and they have been able to just smother the Beavers. Now here's a stolen puck by Malik, and he gets checked from behind by Andy James before he can make a play at the net. Now Pitcher runs over Zach Brighting. And in that entanglement, it kept Pitcher from trying to head into the Beaver zone to try to get a playoff. Here's a shot blocked. Another shot toward the Beaver net wide. Puck centered, and covering the puck up is goalkeeper Patterson. And he'll hold on to it with 4:42 to play. Both teams change with the stoppage of play. Face off in the right wing circle of the Beaver zone. Natorp back to Kennedy. Shot, and that's Seamus Kennedy. Shot blocked. Puck tipped in front. It pops up high, and Kennedy hops over his stick to center. After it was Brian Scott, but the Comets beat him to it in a couple of Comets. That's been the story of the game. The Comets just bigger and faster, and they're been able to get the loose pucks. They've been able to keep the puck almost perpetually in the Beaver zone, just like last night's game. Here's Seamus Kennedy, shot, tipped in front, and it's deflected wide to center ice. Trying to pick it up is Brian Scott, but he has it swept away by Seamus Kennedy. Puck back in the Beaver zone, 3:45 to play, 5-2 Mason. They're in the all-black uniforms. Puck chipped back to the blue line. Unable to hold it in was Brendan Canham. Canham, poke checked away by Newroth. Chase Newroth, he tried to dump it back into the Mason zone. Comets intercept and take over. And a pass at center off the stick of Malik to Natorp. He's poke checked. Canham, they're just ping-ponging the puck back and forth. Now here comes Tanner Levin. His pass back toward the line comes to center. 3 minutes to go. Puck dumped in by J.P. Smith of Beaver Creek. Back to get it is Gabe Todorov. Todorov, uniform number 52. Pass to center. Intercepted by Hayden Drake. Shotgun will shoot it on goal from center, and a save made by Grayson Atkins. Shotgun Drake has one of the Beaver goals today. The initial goal, a power play goal, gave the Beavers a 1-0 lead through one period, but now it's 5-2. Here comes Finn Albers looking for more. Finn Albers, who has the hat trick today. Circles back toward the blue line. Drops it off. Beavers clear it. After it for Mason Tyler and J.P. Smith of Beaver Creek. Smith has it behind the net. Looking in front for Malik. And a centering pass is behind him. Nice play, however, by Smith. He had to fight off a couple of checks. Here comes Caleb Halderman for Mason, and he has it tipped away from him by Zach Brighting. 1:42 to go. Here's a chance for Grant Herr of Mason. He's veered off to the corner. Puck comes loose. It's tipped down the ice by Curve Smith. And there's a chance in front, and it's tipped wide of the Mason net. There is Finn Albers for Mason. Trying to cut behind the net past Zach Brighting. Albers still has it, carrying right in front. And then loses the puck right as he moved right in front of the Beaver net. We're under a minute to go. Icing against the Beavers. The Comets are going to win this one. They beat the Beavers in the Frozen Creek 2-0, and right now they lead it 5-2 with 55 seconds to play. Malik against Andy James. From the face-off in the Beaver zone, there's a wrist shot in front. Save. Rebound. Still loose in front of the Beaver net. Now it's picked up. Beavers unable to clear. Malik had it chopped off of his stick. Puck still loose in front. There's a centering pass. There's a pile up. And now we've got some wrestling. And now we've got some pushing and shoving in front of the Beaver net. As there are several players now pushing off behind the net. I think the Mason players pulled one of their players away from one of the Beaver players, trying to prevent a full bore melee. 32 seconds to go in this game. Everything's settled back down, and we'll have a face-off in the left wing circle of the Beaver zone. Natorp wins the draw. That's chipped down the ice, however. After it, Brian Scott of the Beavers But they're yelling that one of the teams has too many men on the ice. Who is that? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, what do we have here? Was it? It was the Comets that had too many men on the ice. Quinn Rodway will go to the penalty box. That's the fourth penalty of the game on Mason. Beavers have only had one. Beavers on a power play. They're 1 out of 3 in this game. Got 12 seconds left in the game. One-man advantage for the Beavers. Here comes Peter Marietta into the Beavers zone, and puck off of his stick, and that'll do it. So a highly spirited game. It was a good one. The Comets mob goaltender Grayson Atkins. And the Beavers line up for the handshake. Do we have any chats, Dave?
My phone died, so I'm not
Oh,
sure.
I'm sorry. Maybe you should take this. Or you want the cord?
I'm good now, thanks. I'll tell you here in a second.
Okay.
Thank you. No, nothing else.
Okay. So the teams shake hands at center ice. And let's go over the scoring. Unfortunately, due to a really muddled public address system here, we were unable to make out any names or numbers of the assists for any of the goals by either team. And I had to guess on the goal scoring on a couple of goals based on who looked like they were congratulating each other. And so things started out well for the Beavers as they scored the first goal of the game. It was Hayden Drake with a power play goal. And unofficially for Hayden Drake, his second goal of the season. And after one period, it was 1-0 Beavers.
They were 39-11, I believe.
Okay. So it was 1-0 Beavers on a power play goal by
39-11.
Drake after one period of play. And so things looking pretty good. In the second period, the Comets tied things up. Max Kennedy scored a goal. We don't have any stats for Mason, so I don't know how many goals that is for him. But Max Kennedy tied the game at 1. Then the Beavers took their second lead of the game, Ethan Malik, and unofficially his fourth goal of the season to tie him with Chase Newroth for the team lead. And it was 2-1 Beavers, and again, things looking good. But just a few moments later, after the Beavers took the lead, Finn Albers scored his first goal of the game, and that tied things up at 2-2, and that's where we stood after the second period. And then came the third period. Beavers held on for a while, and then the dam broke. Brendan Canham a goal to give the Comets their first lead at 3-2. And then Finn Albers, he is a talented player. He took the puck from one end of the rink to the other and coast to coast and cut in right to the side of the Beaver net, slipped one in, and that way gave Mason a 4-2 lead. And then Mr. Albers decides to cap things off with a hat trick with another goal to cap things off for the Comets. And 5-2 is the final score in this game. And Albers the hat trick tonight. So big game for him. And if Finn Albers happens to be a senior, this is senior night for the Comets. What a game for Albers if he is a senior to cap things off at senior night with a hat trick. So that's and the final shots on goal in the game unofficially. Dave tells me Mason 39, Beaver Creek 11. So a 4-1 shot differential and a 5-2 goal differential in the game for the Comets. So let's try to figure out a 3 stars of the game. And we are going to give the 3rd star of the game to Hayden Drake of Beaver Creek. He scored the first goal of the game, power play goal, and he played a lot of good defense tonight. And the number 2 star of the game, let's give that to, let's give that to, let me look up and down the rosters here. I will give the 2nd star of the game to Brendan Canham. He scored for the Comets. And of course, the number 1 star of the game, no question on that one, is Finn Albers of Mason with a hat trick and a hard hat tonight. Let's figure out a hard hat player of the game. Let me look up and down the rosters. I'm going to give the hard hat today to, we'll give it to Jeff Pitcher of Mason. Pitcher, again, he's a big guy out there, and he was throwing his weight around all over, knocking guys down, going after the puck all night. So we'll give Pitcher the hard hat. So again, the 3 stars, number 3, Hayden Drake of Beaver Creek. Number 2 is Brendan Canham of Mason. The number 1 star of the game, Finn Albers, for a hat trick tonight. And the hard hat goes to Jeff Pitcher of the Mason Comets. So the winning goaltender of the game is Grayson Atkins. He played all game for Mason. Gabe Horseman, who started the game for Beaver Creek, no decision for him as the game was tied at 2-2. So the losing goalie for Beaver Creek is Talon Patterson. He gave up 3 goals in half a game. And that was the second half, and it was the go-ahead goals. So he is the losing goaltender of the game. Gabe Horseman gave up 2 goals through the first half of the game. So again, a good performance by both goalies, really, when you look at it. 5 goals let in total in 39 shots. So Talon Patterson wasn't as sharp as last night, but still played very well at times. And then Big Hoss, Gabe Horseman, he had a strong game today as well as last night. So goaltending has been generally very good for the Beavers, whichever young man is in the net. So it's just a matter of continuing to try to follow that philosophy of keeping the puck out of harm's way in front of your net and trying to just keep the shots to the outside, and so your goalies have a better chance. You notice the goals in the 3rd period, the Comets getting the puck right in front of the net, and that's what their Beavers are trying to avoid. So any final chats, guys?
Nothing.
No?
No, just mine.
Any final comments from the staff?
Oh, no.
Nothing?
Nothing you can say to that.
When's the next game, guys? I always forget to look it up.
This coming weekend is the Troy tournament. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, yeah, the...
So Friday, Tuesday, that's it. Valley Freeze. Miami Valley Freeze.
All right, the Miami Valley Freeze.
So Friday, 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday.
Okay, so Friday
Friday at 5 versus Troy.
Friday at 5 o'clock versus Troy, and this is at Hobart Arena in Troy. Saturday, 9 a.m. against Toledo Whitmer. And which you guys is going to bring the cattle prod to get me out of the sack in time for that one? Stay at the rink. Hey, Friday night, I'll just bring a cot and I'll just camp out at Hobart Arena. Yeah, they've got hot dogs and popcorn there. Shoot, yeah, I'll stuff myself. So 9 a.m. Saturday, so 5 o'clock Friday evening, and then 9 o'clock Saturday morning, and then we've got Saturday evening as well, right?
4 o'clock.
Oh, Saturday afternoon, 4 o'clock. Who is that against?
Troy Bruins.
The Troy Bruins, which is a club team. But we play Troy High School on Friday, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then Sunday will be all the round robin stuff or the championship rounds or something. So, okay, so that's. Yeah, the Troy Trojans are the high school team, and the Troy Bruins are the club team. So, okay. And that's the Miami Valley Freeze. Do they do the Mayor's Cup anymore?
That's a separate discussion.
Oh.
It
Okay.
happens the same weekend, and it should be happening that weekend. Alder's not playing in the Miami Valley Freeze.
Are they doing that one?
They don't want to do it.
Well, poop on them. No Mayor's Cup. Well, they didn't want to do that? Oh, okay. Maybe next year. Okay. Where did they used to hold that Mayor's Cup? Where was that at South Metro or was it at Springfield?
I think it would float, Kettering.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully they kick that back up next year. So it's the Miami Valley Freeze next weekend. So Friday afternoon at 5, Saturday morning at 9, Saturday evening or afternoon at 4. Okay. And then Sunday, we don't know yet. It'll just be the tournament based on the tournament standings. So, all right, folks. Well, I appreciate you joining us tonight. Good game as the Beavers take the loss. They played a good game again. They led after one. They led 1-0. They led 2-1. But then 4 unanswered goals by the Comets, and they win it 5-2. So with the win, the Mason Comets go to 8 wins, 9 losses, 1 tie. The Beavers with the loss go to 2-8 on the season. So speaking for camera operator Craig Newroth and our producer engineer Dave Vandenboss, this is Kent Jacobs. Again, the final score, Mason 5 and Beaver Creek 2. Until Friday afternoon, we bid you good evening, everyone, from the Queen City Sportsplex in Cincinnati. Good night, everybody.